Right then, welcome back to the channel, and here's 5 things that we learned watching Manchester United go top of the league, albeit temporarily, I'm sure, against Fulham at Old Trafford to open up the 24-25 Premier League season. Now, first and foremost, we've got to talk about Zirkzee. Opens his scoring, which is what you want from your forwards. It was a promising little cameo. He did look tidy. He did look silky. He was coming as deep as we thought he was going to. And the goal was kind of textbook Zirkzee. Facilitates it, moves the ball forward, arrives late, and actually gets on the end of something and manages to get United the 3 points. Feels like he does mash really well with the players and the personnel and the profile that we've got, especially his ability to move the ball wide and move people around him. I think he's going to look even better with another forward in the mix, or with either Garnacho, Ahmad or Rashford in sort of goal-scoring form, which they're not quite in just yet. But more minutes, more fitness, whatever it is that's got Ten Hag holding him back, let him get through that, work through that process and be ready to sort of start. And I think we've got a decent little player on our hands. Certainly not sitting here saying world-class Ballon d'Or winner, this, that and the other, but real nice cameo and certainly good enough to get United the 3 points and start the season off on the right foot. So welcome to the club. Just like the Premier League brings fans together across the UK and beyond, Surfshark keeps me connected securely from the UK to stadiums around the world. Don't miss a single moment of the action, no matter where you are, thanks to Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN that keeps your online identity safe by encrypting your data, protecting you from the big companies and cyber criminals. With Surfshark, you can change your IP address to virtually travel anywhere in the world. There's over 3,200 servers in 100 different countries, so you can unblock sports streams or the global Netflix libraries. Change your virtual location, bypass geo restrictions effortlessly, and access blocked websites with ease. Whether it's BBC iPlayer, ITV, or Netflix from abroad, Surfshark grants you seamless access so you never miss any action. Experience uninterrupted streaming with the Clean Web feature as well, shielding you from bothersome ads and malware for a carefree viewing experience. And the best part, one account covers all your devices. If you're ready to join the Surfshark squad, use the code Howson, that is HOWSON, for an additional 4 months at surfshark.com/Howson. Your gateway to a worry-free online experience awaits, and remember, a 30-day money-back guarantee. There is absolutely nothing to lose. Experience the freedom and security you deserve with Surfshark. Thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring today's videos. Click the link in the description for this amazing discount. Secondly, Mazraoui. It was effortless. It was flawless. It was pants off. It was fucking fantastic. It was genuinely a joy to watch. There was an intensity, there was a physicality, there was a composure, and there was just like fantastic decision making, really smooth in the build up, really smooth on the ball, strong in the duels, front foot and aggressive in terms of his defending, front foot and aggressive in terms of moving the ball. You know, the right time for a 2-touch, the right time to play 1-touch, the right time to put your foot on the ball. Honestly, for what was like, there was no end product in what he did, but everything he did was fantastic. You know, you might be looking at a player here that isn't just here to be a rotational player, isn't just going to be, you know, a bit of an also-ran. He looks good enough to be Manchester United's starting right back. And considering he was a throwaway signing, oh yeah, is he available? Yeah, get him in, I guess. Like, he wasn't the one Bayern fans were bothered about losing. Yet to me, De Ligt's going to have to go a long way to get near that in terms of a debut, in terms of a performance. Wow. If De Ligt is 3 times that, bring it on. I can't wait. Casemiro. Now, Casemiro, and to a certain degree, Harry Maguire, was very solid, but I think there was a couple of things in possession that was a little bit sloppy with. Casemiro was a candidate for man of the match. I've given it to Mazraoui. Might be a little bit giddy. Allow it. But Casemiro had an excellent performance. He covered left and right, up and down, box to box. He was trying to create stuff. He was trying to get on the end of stuff. Maguire was nice in terms of how solid he was. One of the better performers on the day defensively. Little bit of work still to do in possession, I think. But Casemiro and Maguire, 2 players probably deemed surplus to requirement. end up being perfectly adequate players. And I'd probably go a little bit beyond that as well in terms of Casemiro on the night. Casemiro showing why, do you know what? If you just played him once a week, you're going to get that sort of performance out of him. That's more than enough. Like, it was a real nice performance, I thought, from him. Low lights. So we're not just going to talk about the positive, we're going to talk about the things that still got a little bit that they need working on. And I thought Mount worked hard, key to the press, and sometimes a little bit headless chicken with the press, but he did lead the energy with that press. But he's got to show more when we get in possession. United did dominate possession against Fulham, but we would dominate it even more if there was an ability in Mason Mount to be able to take hold of a game and dictate what's going on around him. And at the same time, Bruno was the same, quite wasteful, questionable decision-making at times. And when those two are a sort of attacking heartbeat in the team, compared the game that those two had, yes, it's further forward and slightly different role, obviously, because of that. But compare the game that those two had to the two that were behind them in Manu and Casemiro, and it was almost night and day in terms of the decision-making. Rashford definitely looked engaged, and I think his body language has been way better than recent times. But he's not quite got the X factor about him. I think it was a pretty average performance from Marcus. It wasn't bad, but it certainly wasn't good either. And I just think, we really need him to start delivering goals. As we saw, it required Zirkzee to come off the bench and get us a goal. United were wasteful in front of the goal. We did create chances, but who's going to put those chances away for us? You're requiring somebody like Marcus with the experience that he's got and the things that he's shown us in the past to be able to put the ball in the back of the net, and he didn't really do that. Well, he didn't do that. So, he needs to be able to come out and go up a level. And the same for Ahmad, actually, as well. Ahmad looked bright, still not fully at his sharpest, still not took the game by the scruff of a neck. And both of them need to do that, really, if they're going to be starters. There's levels to go through. Now, you've got players here who've played a few minutes there against Manchester City. The likes of Mazraoui just turned up on like Monday and has just trained since then. It's not really long enough to sort of know what your role is within the team. And that's why I think what Mazraoui did this week was so impressive, actually, because of the circumstances he finds himself in. But if you want to be able to start competing with the likes of City and Arsenal, there are levels to go through. And luckily, I think there's the time to get fit. We got Brighton next week, early kickoff on the Saturday. And then not too long after, we've got Liverpool. But we've got a few games where you go, okay, you're going to get a little bit of leeway here. But by those internationals in September, United really need to be, firing on all cylinders. Hopefully not picked up any injuries. Hopefully we see the likes of Højlund return, and you might start to see United being able to do stuff, because the signs were there. Tactically, the signs were there. We've seen a nice 3-1-6 build up. There was wide triangles going on. There was good rotations in the wide areas. There was loads of things to be positive about, but there's also quite a lot of levels that United still need to go through, because the likes of City and Arsenal are going to really put us under pressure, and you want to try and be competitive in those games. Like, top four might be the target for us, but that doesn't mean that's all we want to accept. We want to be winning trophies, and we want to try and push for the league. Is it unrealistic to suggest we can do that this year? Yeah, of course it is. But this is football. It's romantic and it's fucking deluded. So it doesn't matter. We want to try and do that. And finally, there's still work to do, but it was so much better than last season. We limited Fulham's attacking options. They didn't really feel like they were threatening too much. Quality sides are going to put those sort of defensive transitions under a little bit more scrutiny, but you got to think that Manu will be a bit sharper. Casemiro might be a bit sharper. You would expect it to be De Ligt and Martinez, with Mazraoui being match fit. Maybe it's Delo, maybe it's somebody else. There's a lot of aspects of the game that can be improved on. The biggest one is that we have to get ruthless in front of goal. We were a little bit sluggish to start the game. Fulham started the game first 10 or 15 minutes or so better than us. But after that, remainder of the first half, 25, 30 minutes, United looked really, really good. And it was, I thought, a very, very positive end to the first half. Second half, Fulham came out with a little bit more impetus. United did get our way back into it, and then the substitutions didn't really add in the way that we thought. And I wonder, was it because you didn't have Mounts pressing as much anymore? What was the reason for that? And also, Ahmad worked real nice defensive cover too. So I'm not quite sure what it was that sort of just took the stuffing out of us a little bit in terms of how we were playing. But bottom line is, we got the win. We got a clean sheet. We got the 3 points. We entered Friday night as top of the league. There's 37 games to go. And, who knows where we'll end up come May. I don't think there's going to be a title charge for Manchester United. But I am here for the surprise, should there one materialise. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're in the Manchester area today, please get yourselves down to Hyde United Stadium, Project Solar Stadium. Paddock are kicking off at 3. It is free entry. We're going to have a good old fucking time. And the bar's open, the kiosk is open, so we're going to have a couple of bevs and hopefully watch Paddock also go top of the league tomorrow afternoon, or this afternoon, I guess it will be. But cheers for tuning in as always. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.